Welcome to another episode of Ankle Sore, and yes, we're back. Here we are back in our comfy studio.
Finally.
Firstly, Andrew, welcome back.
Thank you.
You were brilliant playing away and putting together the last 2 weeks. It's a damn shame that some interstate sides can't perform as good as you have on the road, particularly with the AFL or the illegal streaming, or no legal streaming, should I say, and having to resort to illegal streaming and the heavy humidity, of course. So how was it, Andrew? Tell us a little bit about it.
That was good. It's always fun in Hong Kong. Best part, if you've never been to Hong Kong, it's an amazing place. But everything opens at 11 a.m. So you can sleep in and not miss out on anything. And everything closes at 10 p.m. Or even later. So it's a relaxing trip without being relaxing.
So what do they do after 10 o'clock and before 10 a.m.? Is it
Sleep.
just Netflix and sleep? And
I don't know.
Is there Netflix there?
There is, of course there is. That there is. Even in the hotel there's Netflix, even though I didn't watch it. They should stream AFL on Netflix.
Oh, well, there's an idea.
AFL, can you wake up to yourself? Seriously. See the previous episode for my take
If you don't know
on
what he's talking about.
KO and the AFL.
Yeah.
And streaming.
Yes. Yep. And we can't seem to field a full side again. No Vito. Fair to say this is a rebuilding season, this one.
I reckon it is, mate. We're rebuilding. We'll go 2024. We'll try and win the flag then,
Try and
I
win
think.
the flag. Just slow steps at a time.
That's
Grass
it.
shoots.
Grass. I don't want to hear that ever again.
So while we've been away, we've seen Collingwood shoot to the top of the table. Port Adelaide continue to win games of footy, remaining second spot. The Bulldogs are still scratchy. Gold Coast are surprising all. Essendon and Freo are making their move. And Carlton, well, they're just Carlton. They're just being Carlton. And before we start, we'd like to thank you for all the support. Our goal at the start of the year was 1,000 subscribers by midway through the season. We're halfway there. We're going great. So if you're enjoying our content and not a subscriber, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Got a lot of exciting videos coming. So let's get cracking. Friday night, MCG, Melbourne 8-13-61, defeated Carlton 6-8-44. Firstly, a shocking game of football.
Horrendous game of football. Seriously, if you went, you should be refunded. And you can't get refunded. If
Oh,
you
the
watch
AFL
it.
wouldn't.
Free the week. Oh, AFL. Okay. Yep. Nah, terrible game of football.
I thought Melbourne were not much top throughout the night either.
They weren't.
But just Carlton couldn't even get close.
Never in danger of losing Melbourne.
Never
I
in
think.
danger. I also thought the best player on the ground was really scratchy, and that was Petrarca.
Yeah, and he was scratchy,
Yeah,
yeah.
and he was like he was unders for
Yeah.
his performance.
What's that say about Carlton?
I'll tell you what it says about Carlton. A couple of things. They're in a deep trough.
Deep trough.
39 inside 50s and kicking 44 points.
Lowest under Michael Voss.
Is it?
Lowest score under Michael Voss.
There's a few points there. They're struggling to score. They're struggling to move the ball. They're struggling to win the ball through contests. They're struggling to win the ball behind the ball. They're not winning contests in front of the ball. So they've got a lot of problems. There's half a dozen there, or five.
When they win the ball behind the ball in the back line,
Yep.
what do they do with it? They always go sideways.
Because they don't know how to move the ball. I don't know.
I don't know if they're told or they're scared.
Well, they're told.
Okay. Well, then the
They're
coach
told.
shouldn't be coaching.
Well, it's funny you talk about the coach. That leads me on to the next comment that I heard him saying in the press conference. He said, "We are not a final side at the moment."
Okay.
It's nice that he admitted that.
Well, then, Michael, you don't have a job. Effective immediately. That's disgusting.
And that speaks volumes of where they're at, because they haven't been a final side for
Okay.
large chunks, haven't they?
No.
In fact, probably all year, let's be honest.
But to my point, he should be sacked. I've been calling for it 4 weeks ago. And you know why, and I'll tell you guys why. Carlton aren't a rebuilding side. They're
No.
a win-now
That's
side, right? So their premiership window, whether you think so or I think so, is immediate with their list, right?
Yep.
They're paying 105% of the salary cap. They've got Cripps, Kernow, Mackay. They've loaded up, right? So they're going to lose some players at the end of the year just because they can't fit
There's
them all
fallout.
in. De Koning wants money. Silvani's weighing up his options, even though I think he can leave, but that's another story. But if you're not playing finals 2 years in a row, when there's a side built for you, you're not fit to coach. Oh, I'm sorry.
I think it's the list as well. There'll be fallout from the list.
Oh, 100%.
I reckon
Oh,
there
it's
has
it's
to
not
be.
just the coach, but I think anyone would be doing better than what he. Like I could coach them. They could coach themselves.
Do you honestly think
better.
what I just said about like struggling to move the ball inside the contest, behind the contest, in front of the ball? You reckon that's all coaching, or do you think that's my ability? Because
it's not ability. Because how do they get to the AFL? These players, like, why did they do so well last year and previous year and whenever? Right, so they could all play footy at some point,
they
right?
can,
but just the way they go about it, they lack dare, they lack confidence, they lack everything. They lack everything a good side should have.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And that can only be fixed one way, and getting rid of the coach. And he's not the sole problem, but getting rid of the coach usually changes things. We'll talk about North Melbourne later on, but you've seen just Ratton, just the way he's changed a few things. It makes a difference. I think Ratton should come back to Carlton, personally.
That'd be big. Well, we'll talk about that when it gets to Ratton. But you can't delist 22 players.
No, you can't. But you can delist 15 of them.
Stuff.
That too, yeah. So it's 50-50. The coach is to blame for a lot of it because game style is created throughout pre-season and they work on it and work on it. You don't just play this style overnight, right?
That's right.
I mean, even when they were winning games at the start of the season, we were saying they're winning games.
Something was
they don't look good.
We use the word misfiring.
Yeah, they're misfiring, but they're winning games, right?
And they're winning games.
Now, if they were still winning games now, you couldn't really knock them, right? Because Melbourne won ugly and they were doing what Carlton was doing, but they're winning games. So I think the answer is Voss first and a bunch of players. And some of the players I mentioned last week or a couple of weeks ago are the key figures of the club.
I don't think Voss will go during the course of the season.
Okay.
I know you think that.
No, I think it should happen. I don't think it'll happen. I think it'll happen at the end of the season.
Yeah.
But I think it will happen. You can't possibly go forward as a business because, let's be honest, it's a business. And say, hey, we're failing here. How do we get better?
Yeah.
Well, it's not with Michael Voss. You've shown 2 years of what you can do.
Yep.
And you've given us nothing. You haven't given us the finals. Anyway, it's not the Carlton show.
That's it. We've done that for Carlton.
Yeah, enough of Carlton.
Saturday in 25-degree heat. Port Adelaide 23-13, 151, a cricket score. Hawthorn 14-12, 96. But, geez, it was 100 points the margin at half-time.
It was.
All close enough to it.
It was. And it was actually a good game to watch. It was, like you said, 25 degrees, perfect conditions for football. Port Adelaide came out and kicked...
A little bit too hot.
A little bit too hot. Kicked 9 in the first quarter. They blitzed Hawthorn, and I think they were 17 goals at half-time, right?
That's was massive. It was close to a record, but it wasn't the record.
No, it wasn't.
But it was close to a half-time score.
So funnily enough, they kicked 100 at half-time, or 104, 102, whatever it was. And the commentators kept saying, their highest score is 188. They get nowhere near it.
They could have kicked 200.
Well, they could.
Which would have been the last
250. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
But this is where Hawthorn. I've got to give credit to Sam Mitchell and Hawthorn. They could have lost by 150 points this game easily.
Yeah, easily. Before you go on to Hawthorn, I just Port's game's in very good working order at the moment.
Oh, because they've got 3 players that just
well-oiled
machine.
Yeah,
they're the cogs.
Yep. I saw them live at the MCG last week against Richmond, and to see them from a distance, but live. They move that ball through that midfield.
They do, don't they?
It's like slingshot quick. They move it. They're clean. They're hard. They've got all the assets.
But their best 3 players are under 22.
Scary.
That's the beauty of it.
Scary.
Like Butters, Horn Francis, and Rosie. They're splendid footballers to watch, right?
And it's funny, you'll probably agree that a couple of years ago, their biggest knock was they didn't go back the other way.
Correct.
So the offensive, they were okay, but defensive, they were getting knocked. And, geez, haven't they cleaned that up?
Yeah, but even the 3 that I mentioned, you see, even Horn Francis is getting back now, right? He's bought in eventually.
He's bought in. He's been sensational. He's been absolutely sensational.
They could do some damage in I was going to say December. September.
Well, not COVID. Weren't we playing finals in December?
Oh, close.
And I think Marshall has really developed. I know you don't rate him, or you do, but
I just think
he's still got to come back to join Marshall.
But does he?
Yeah, of course he does.
Why?
because Dixon's your main forward, and Dixon comes back.
Well, Finlayson's better value than Dixon, if you ask
been
me.
tremendous, but he plays ruck forward.
Yeah, but look, the ruck position for Port shouldn't exist. It's irrelevant.
What about these? They're not no-name players to Port Adelaide supporters, but
Burton.
Bergman, William Drew off a wing.
He's a tackling machine. That's all he does. But that's all you need. So again, they've got the right. It's funny they left the captain out. He's still not. He's available. He can't get a game.
And why would you? Where would you play him? You put him through that midfield, and all of a sudden it slows him from 110 k's an hour.
Not Travis Spoke, mate. He's not the captain anymore.
He's not
Jonas.
Jonas.
Yeah.
The defensive skills coming off half back is better without him.
Elias, Dilma. And
because then you're bringing the ball out slower.
100%.
So
and that's the thing. They're prepared to make the hard decisions, right?
Well, Ken is.
And so he should. His job's on the line, or was on the line at the start of the season. No, now it's not.
Shouldn't be.
I've heard some rumours that Richmond are interested, but I don't know. I wouldn't leave Port Adelaide if I was him.
Port Adelaide. Yeah. 9 in a row for Power. 9 in a row.
That's massive.
At this level, that's huge.
That's massive.
That's huge. Saturday afternoon, West Coast 8-9-57, Collingwood 18-12-120. But that scoreline, Gaff had a shot to get within a goal from 35 metres out. Yep. Didn't get the distance.
I remember, it was marked.
I don't know if the ball was flat.
No.
It was a horrendous shot.
He can't kick over a jam tin.
We've spoken a lot about Collingwood. Well, yeah, you did a little bit, but leading up, we sort of made a little bit about Collingwood, every Collingwood game. But I just want to say that it was good that West Coast came with a little bit of heat this week. They had a little bit of a crack.
Well, they had some senior players back.
That's right.
Elliot Yo.
Yeah, Yo was a good
Shuey
return.
didn't play, but...
sorry, not Shuey. She got 40.
She got 40. Yo played well.
Duggan was good and Kelly was good.
Kelly was brilliant. And so was Oscar Allen. He's always good for him.
Yeah.
But also, I just want to mention just quickly, are they ever going to learn? Shanahan did his hamstring again. Nat Nui's not going to play the rest of the season. Shanahan's injured. Look, West Coast, this is your own fault. I don't understand.
Yeah. Is that Nui... He's tradable, obviously.
He's 31.
That's what I mean. That's the question I'm getting at. Like, is there anyone interested? Would anyone take Nat Nui?
Geelong. They've never had a ruckman in 10 years, and they still continue to be good.
Yeah, but when we get on to Geelong, I'll tell you why it doesn't matter. But
Geelong. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean...
Look, okay, talk about North Melbourne just briefly with Goldstein.
He's been good, hasn't he?
He's been good. Is it his last year? But then do they put on a 31-year-old? Maybe not.
You keep Goldstein, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I guess. But when it comes to Collingwood, look, they just did what they had to do at the end. Nick Dacos had a big last 45 minutes.
Kicked 3 goals.
And 40, whatever it was, just standard.
Josh kicked 3 the week before.
Yeah.
And Nick kicked 3 this week.
Yep.
The Daco, mate. If one doesn't get you, the other one will. I'm telling you.
They're punishing, aren't they?
They're sensational.
Oh, yeah.
But they're just too good, Collingwood. They're actually really good to watch.
Yeah, and that's why, I don't know if you could add any more to a game that they've beaten West Coast by. Just quickly, DeGoey, thoughts?
Yeah, he's in trouble.
I'm annoyed that they keep bringing up that DeGoey and Nathan Buckley, I backed him on this with Kane Corns, they keep saying in the media he's hit an 18-year-old.
It's irrelevant.
That's right. I was like, that does not matter.
18 or 38.
It doesn't matter.
You're in the big... This is a professional league. You're in the big leagues here.
Like,
it doesn't matter what you hit, how much you weigh, whatever.
Yeah.
It's whether he gets up, whether he's got concussion. That determines... Right?
Big hit. Huge hit.
Huge hit. No need to do it. I don't...
No, there was no need to do it. But then maybe...
I don't understand.
Maybe he's already, booked his motel in Leggy and in Bali or Seminyak or something like that.
I hope not.
Maybe
he's having a great season to go. I hope not.
This needs a refresher in Bali.
Not in Bali, though. No, you're not going to Bali, mate. I'm telling you.
Wait for this. You'll see pictures of him in Bali next week.
Angelo, he cannot depart the country, I'm telling you. I'm sure it's in his contract.
Saturday night, Western Bulldogs 10-15-75, lost to Geelong 15-7-97. What a game of footy.
Great. It was a shootout at the OK Corral
in
the first half, literally, right?
Yep.
And it slowed down to a walk.
How good was the atmosphere in that first quarter?
Bloody good. It was a good game of footy. That's what you like. Saturday night, watching these two go, because they couldn't, no one could afford to lose this game.
It was an important game, wasn't it?
It was the 8-point game,
as
they say, right?
I've never understood that. Never have I seen a team win a game of footy and get 8 points for it.
Oh. No, but it's that the other team doesn't get 4 points, right?
But that happens every week. This is
But
what, I'm not having
certain
a go
teams-
at you, but
So Geelong and Western Bulldogs are on the same points now, right?
Yeah,
Had
well,
they
no,
have lost,
yeah,
they would have
exactly.
been. If Western Bulldogs won, they would have been 8 points ahead of Geelong.
yeah.
So now they're only 4.
So you're saying
it's just a saying
so
that
you're saying that if last beats first, it's a 16-game win. It's a 64-point win.
Oh.
64-point game.
mate, I don't know what I'm saying, but
Oh, I get you.
it's just a saying. Anyway,
Geelong. I'd love to be a Geelong supporter. I'll just say that.
would you?
Yeah, I would.
I wouldn't.
Because the fans are spoiled. They're spoiled.
Oh, I know they're spoiled.
Just when you think their season was down the barrel,
JC
3 in a row,
JC rocks
they
up.
turn it round. They win a big game against the Dogs at Marvel. The contested footy
That's true.
against a good, talented midfield was exceptional. You know, Geelong refused to rebuild. The club refuses to give up on seasons. And this has now been going for 10 plus years more. I just love that attitude. They do it because they can, I guess.
Yeah,
Don't
they
you
do it
think?
well.
They do it well.
Their recruiting
Yeah,
is
they do it
second
well.
to none. Like Mitch Nevin,
Yeah.
I saw him play start
Yep.
of the year, round 2, round 3 or whatever.
Yep.
Didn't think much of him, but he's come on, right? Then they've got this other Irishman playing.
Played
Never
3
heard of
games
him.
footy.
But how does he just come in and just play a role?
Yeah.
They develop them well down there.
Yeah, they have a really good unofficial program with the Falcons. It's not official because
not official, yeah, but it's
anyone
yeah.
could go, but they just have this relationship with the VFL as well. They develop kids through there. They probably hide players,
Yeah.
but the system works for them, and it's proven. And that's why I say I'd love to be a Geelong supporter. Don't complain to me if you're a Geelong supporter ever. When
Yeah.
you know.
You're right.
I've
They've
made
been
that
spoiled.
decision up now.
Aaron Norton.
Talk to me.
When's he going to learn how to kick a football?
Oh, well, it's been going all year.
It's been going for 4 years
Yeah.
or 5 years he's been at the club. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of these players. It's not just him, but he'll miss from 20 metres out straight in front. I don't understand.
It's the same as snapshots, but we've spoken about that
But I'll
before.
cop snapshots, right? Not from right in front. I'll cop them from an angle.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But if you're kicking a drop punt from 20 metres out, you're a senior player like Aaron Norton.
No, it's inexcusable.
It's inexcusable. That goes for anyone in the AFL. I'm just bringing him up because I saw him miss a couple on Saturday night and I thought, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, you can almost gauge he's going to miss it before he even kicks it. Like, is it going to go through? That's bad for a footballer.
I know you're big on it, and I know what you're going to say.
I'm
What are
massive
they
on
doing
it.
during the week?
I don't know. Like, again, we spoke about it a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
In the NBA, I guarantee you they'll sit there and have 1,000
Yeah.
free throws, right? They're good free throw shooters, right? They'll do 1,000 a day. Repetition. I know kicking's a bit different but sports scientists, you've got to figure it out or don't work at football clubs. Because seriously, you've ruined this game. You're the reason why the Western Bulldogs and Aaron Norton's kicking 10 goals 15. It's a sports scientist. Oh, you can only have 8 kicks at training.
That's true.
Okay. Well,
true.
you fix it so they can have 800 kicks at training.
That's
How's
true.
that?
Where are the Dogs at?
I'm not sure.
I mean, last week was Paul.
I was bullish on them a couple of weeks ago. and they-
Bullish on the Bulldogs.
Yeah,
We wouldn't
literally.
mean cattish.
No, I wouldn't. no.
Yeah, where, are
but,
they at? Where are they at? Yeah, well, I'm cattish on the Cats. And
I
you
can
were
see
bullish
that.
on the Bulldogs.
I don't know where they're at. Again, Jamara is another one that doesn't kick enough goals. He was actually really good on Saturday night. Just doesn't kick enough goals. I don't get it.
Again, is this... We were talking about Carlton misfiring. They're misfiring. Like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we thought, okay, they've found a rhythm. They've got... Because they had a poor start.
Yeah.
They've lost that rhythm again.
Having said that, they lost to Geelong and Gold Coast, right? And
Yeah, in
fair
Darwin
enough.
too.
Yeah, and fair enough.
Yeah.
So both games they could have won, but they
Yeah.
lost. So I'll cop that to a point. Had they have lost to a lower team, I'll sort of...
Geelong had no right to win that, and they've ended up
But they did, yeah.
winning by 4 goals.
Yeah. Again, bad kicking.
So, they kicked 10-15.
That's bad.
Saturday night in Darwin, we couldn't watch both games.
No, I tried, But anyway, continue.
Gold Coast 16-16, 112. Defeated Adelaide 13-9, 87. Gold Coast came from 6 goals down at halftime.
I was staggered.
Incredible performance at their home, away from home, Darwin, which they play good on.
And I said that last week.
Yeah.
They'll get Adelaide because
It's
they stayed up there. They're used to it. Adelaide don't like to travel. I'm going to call out Isaac Rankin. You're not. You could potentially be an absolute superstar in this league. But when you're not playing in Adelaide, stop sooking and show up. He sat on the bench the last 6 minutes of that game.
Up.
They could have won that.
Yeah, that's a vital player.
They were 3 goals down when he went off, right?
Yeah.
And he was just there, no interest, too hot. What are you doing, mate?
That's a vital player.
Vital.
Not playing in the last 6 minutes of
I
football.
don't see Dustin Martin sooking it up. When he was at his
There's a fair bit of
best.
difference in maturity in mind.
100%.
And he might not do that in 5 years down the track. But
Jeez, you'd throw up, right, if he took 5 more years. He's been in the system for 4 years, right? So
yeah, that's not a long time.
it's not a lot, but come on.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Why in Adelaide he's up and about?
I know what you mean.
Because he's comfortable.
Yeah. Well, look, we've spoken a lot about Adelaide in the last few weeks, but let's make this. I want to make this a bit about Gold Coast.
So do I. I'm impressed.
I think like their contested style is it's not boring, but it gets the job done.
It's not. It actually
it's different. It's
actually,
different.
It frustrates me at times.
Yeah, it would you for sure. But that's how they play their best footy.
I understand. I get that. All on the back of one person.
Jack Lukosius,
Matt Rao.
Matt Rao through the middle. Thought Humphrey looked all right.
Oh, it's sensational, that.
He's got grit, hasn't he?
Yeah. So I called out Matt Rao 6 weeks ago, saying you got to give us more. Because they weren't winning games.
Yep.
He stood up and they've won, I think, 4 out of 6 since then. Humphrey, Anderson, and Rao, that midfield's going to be something else in the years to come.
And Rao leads the way because like their preparedness to put the head over the ball.
Oh, he's number one.
Gain territory because that's what their game's about. It's territory gaining. It's a little bit like rugby almost.
And that's what
that
frustrates
last quarter or that second half. I know that second half, like they won the third quarter. Plus 12 in contested possession. But that last quarter alone, like, plus 32.
That's massive.
It's massive. And that's Rao.
Massive. That's Rao. It's all Rao's doing,
It's that sort of stuff. And they work a scrap, but they scrap it well.
But then you've got some class up forward with Lukosius.
Yep.
Another 5 goals.
Yep.
He's starting to show some signs, mate. He's a lovely kicker of the football. We knew that. But kick a goal. Like he wasn't a great
5-1.
Yeah, he wasn't a great kicker goal a couple of years back. They put him forward and he'd end up with 1 goal 3 or 3 behinds or something. He wasn't a great kick, but mate, this year his goal kicking's been sensational.
And what's good about the Gold Coast is for the first time in a long time, they get to the bye at a 50% ratio.
Yeah.
They've got a chance now to go deep into a 50% ratio, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
They're 6-6, but they can go 8-6 because
100%.
they've got Carlton and I can't think of who else they've got next after that, but that's Carlton and Hawthorn in the next 2 weeks. So really,
2 winnable games.
they should be turning 6-6 into 8-6, and then off the back of that,
play finals.
get cracking into that last 6 weeks. They're a chance.
Absolutely. And the last time they had that, Gary Ablett went down with his shoulder injury and they missed the finals.
They were 4th at the time.
Yeah.
And looking okay. But that was a hell of a lot earlier too.
It was. So we're going to jinx it and say Real gets injured. And they can't do it. Let's not jinx it.
Gold Coast should be happy with themselves anyway.
Yeah, they're doing well.
Ultimately, they should be happy with themselves.
I was hard on them early.
You were.
But for those reasons.
For the right reasons, though.
Real was getting the ball and just getting tackled and going on the ground, right? Now he's getting the ball and motoring out of those packs and getting it forward.
And I'll tell you what else, Rao's winning footy on the outside as well.
Yeah, a little bit on the outside, which is important for him because he never did that.
No.
He had one mindset and it was like, go get the ball. As long as they don't get it, we win.
Yeah.
But you don't. You need to score. And 16-16 to 30, they kick straight. They win by 10 goals.
They kicked 12 second half goals.
That's what I mean. Like,
It's a whacking.
They could have belted that.
Of a decent side too.
Exactly. So
like we're rating Adelaide as a decent side now, aren't we?
yeah, pushing for the 8, yeah.
Well, then that's the position the Gold Coast want. They want Adelaide's spot.
Yeah, I agree. I'm impressed with them. I've got to say, I've changed. But
and Stuart Dew, the question of coaching now comes on to, it was on him. Let it go.
Yeah, let it go. He's done a fine job. I don't know if he saw it coming or just had to be
probably
patient.
not.
No? You know, saw it coming. David King said it literally at the start of the season. Said when Gold Coast get to that point, it's going to be instant.
It's like a tipping point.
It's almost happened this year. I think because he was up there for training for a week or something and he just saw something in them.
Yeah.
He called it. And I guess Stuart G sees the same.
Yep. Yeah. I like it. I like what I see.
So do I.
And on to Sunday footy, and what a great afternoon of footy it was. It actually cleaned, it made the round. It cleaned the round up.
It was definitely
It was a little bit
games,
of a, and it just sort of finished the round off beautifully.
The round got better as it went on. Like started horrendously, and then the last two games of the weekend, brilliant.
Yeah, it did.
Surprisingly brilliant, those two games.
It did. GWS 15-14, 104. Lost to Richmond 16-14, 110. Lost the lead right on the end there. Both teams kicked over 100.
Which is, I love that. I love seeing that.
I love that both teams, Richmond had 70, conceded 70 inside 50s. That's massive.
Massive. But
their back half struggled, but in the end they still won the game.
They still won the game. I mean, that's the old Richmond, that's the old Blighty thing where you kick 100, we'll kick 110.
Yeah, and that theory doesn't work at AFL, does it? A lot of the times.
Not these days.
A lot of the times.
But,
but what I liked with that game was that both teams were clearly trying to play their style, which is the same, which is rebound off half-back, slingshot and go. Richmond have been doing it for years.
Yeah.
And GWS to survive and to get close to that game had to play it, and they did it.
Did well.
They did well.
I think Richmond's style doesn't work anymore. It worked on Sunday to a point. It took a Marlon Pickett goal in the last 40 seconds to win the game.
Yeah, that's right.
And a piece of brilliance, like on his left side. It was bloody good goal.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. They don't kick it. Their forwards don't kick enough goals. Even though Rewell had a good game, they still miss Tom Lynch.
Oh, big time.
Massively.
Big time. I mean, they're not contenders. They're not going to play.
They're not anymore. No, I thought they were early on in the season.
And neither GWS, but we'll get on to them in a minute.
GWS, they've been unlucky this year. They've been very plucky in games. They could have won a few more, but...
Well, how good does their win look over Geelong last week versus Geelong, what they did the night before?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Made their win look great.
No, they're going all right. They're going all right. First year coach, I think they're doing well, GWS.
Just a shout out. Liam Baker, I thought, was good all across the park.
Jeez, he was important.
He went back. He went forward.
But he always does that.
Yeah.
I guess when it's a close game, he stands out because he was the reason that they won in the end.
But he doesn't look like a player he's no Cochin Martin.
No, he's not.
He's not that standout type footballer.
He actually does the work for him these days.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's a star.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Liam Baker. How's that new kid for GWS, Faye, kicked a lovely goal from outside.
How nice
50.
was that?
Jeez, he's got it reminds me of Mark Bayes on that.
Yes, Mark Bayes left foot at number 30.
I think he even wore long sleeve jumper. So Mark Bayes
he flushed that ball. It was just lovely. Absolutely sweet, wasn't it?
But great game of footy. Great game of footy.
It was. And the round finished off Sunday twilight. Essendon 16-9, 105, defeating North 15-9, 99. The Roos were 17 points up at one stage in that game and looked almost home.
Jeez.
They looked almost home.
Yeah, I thought they would have won that one. Honestly, I blame one person for that, and I called this 6 months ago. Jack Zeeble. Now, anyone's can make that mistake, right? Kicking it out in the full.
Done it twice.
Right? Did it twice. What's North Melbourne going to learn by him? What's he going to learn or North Melbourne's going to learn by him kicking out in the full? Nothing. Right? So in 5 years, winning the grand final when he's 42 years of age and he's retired.
Oldest premiership player in history because he'll still be there. No, he won't.
Right? So he won't be there. So my point is, if that was a young kid doing that, he learns the next time.
Yep.
So having Zeeble do that is useless to North Melbourne, right?
Yeah.
I was big on Cunnington, hasn't played since, right?
Can we talk about Cunnington for a
second? Hang on, let me finish my Jack Zeeble spiel. I was big on Cunnington, and it was the right move because you've seen Phillips and
Wardlaw
right?
and
now you're telling me Jack Zeeble plays before Aidan Corr?
Staggering,
right? Number one,
staggering.
Surely there's some young defenders at North Melbourne that could have played on the weekend. Is it?
They got a kid called Kalen Dawson that I saw on Sunday.
He could have played.
He looks okay.
And there's also
Aidan Corr played VFL on Sunday and was in the best. I don't know why. Why did they match Zeeble up on Langford?
Langford kicked 4.
Kicked 4.
So what's Jack Siebel's point?
Langford tailed him up, leading.
Of course, he did. They
put it on his head and Langford beat him that way. He was all lost at sea.
He's not a defender. He's got no
Glad
purpose.
you said just not a defender.
Well, he's got no purpose in the side. He's outgrown North Melbourne.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yep.
like, you know, this year isn't about wins and losses for North, but again, the learnings they get from that,
Yep.
if that's a young kid, in 6 weeks' time or 3 years' time, when he needs to have some composure, he can't get that now.
Too much on negative. Let's talk about
Positive, yes.
I had a moment with North on Sunday. It was my moment of, it was like, oh, I see where this is going.
Yeah.
That was my moment. Like, yeah, okay, I wanted to win, but I could see where it's going. You know, Greenwood goes off concussed, Simpkin goes off early concussed, and then you see Phillips, Powell, Sheasel, Wardlaw. My God.
Scott.
I was going to call him Robert Scott then.
Robert Scott's son.
Like Scott, yeah, son of Sauce. I see where it's going. Like there was certain centre bounces where it's like it was raw, but it was good to see. And you know, Larky up forward is taking catches,
And Zurha
and
all the kids, mate.
Coleman Jones,
Triple C,
Double CJ,
Double CJ.
took 10 marks, and he brings the ball down to the ground, and the ball hits the ground, and then you got Spice is really raw.
Very raw.
And again at the end, you know, Spicer ran down Ridley off half back, and the umpires called play on. Like seriously,
Yeah, it's wrong.
there were some really odd decisions at the end of that game. But again, let's talk about North. It was a pivotal day for North on Sunday. I felt.
Yeah,
I think they've had a good 3 weeks. Let's talk about Ratton, like we were going to discuss. If North can't employ him, which you and I both think that, and we're not going to get into that sort of side of things because we don't know enough about it. But if Clarkson doesn't come back, we both think he doesn't. I think it's fair to say. Like,
I've got my doubts.
I've got my doubts. All right, I'll wear that too. I'll say that too.
Yeah.
Ratton's the man, right?
Absolutely he is.
Where does Ratton go if Clarkson does come back?
Well, he's got Richmond. That's available.
Wow.
That's officially available, right?
Yeah.
I think West Coast will become available.
Yep.
And I think Carlton will become available. So that's 3.
Yeah. You won't go to Carlton. Can't go back to
Why not?
You can't go back to your old girlfriend. You can't. You won't go to Carlton because I just think
So if he's the right man for the job, he can't go back. David Parkin did it. And won premierships.
You're right, 100%. I could tell you, yeah.
If he's the right person for the job, which I think he is.
I haven't thought of Carlton, to be honest.
I have.
My first reaction is no.
After the game on Sunday, I immediately thought of Carlton because of after this weekend's result.
Yeah.
I immediately thought, can he go back to Carlton? I don't know.
Probably could. My first reaction to that's no, but then when you think about it out of the square, yeah.
Well, if they're looking for a coach,
he could.
He's got it.
I just think, like, North fans watching this, they probably agree. I've spoken to a lot of them. I'd be comfortable with Ratton coaching the next 3 years.
He's been sensational. He's freed them up. He's freed the Sharon at North Melbourne.
Yeah,
literally, they're playing with so much. They're actually fun to watch now.
Oh, they are. And North supporters, they should be happy.
So you wanted to talk about Cunnington. So when he was playing, Phillips wasn't. And now look at Phillips.
That's right. But
so I'm just putting it out there.
I watched him on Sunday morning, Sunday.
Yeah, you told me about that in the VFL.
In the VFL. And I called you and I said, no, here go on.
In the VFL.
VFL.
The second tier Victorian Football League at the Hangar.
And I called you after the game had finished and I said that North came from 17 points down with 8 minutes to go. They won by 2 goals, so they basically kicked the last 5 goals.
It was the opposite of the senior game.
It was, and I said, "There's a player in that team that had a phenomenal last 8 minutes."
And I was thinking, geez, what?
And he had 8.
They've unveiled a new kid.
And he had 8 clearances and had 9 disposals, and basically was phenomenal and was the catalyst in the last 5. Didn't kick a goal, but was the catalyst.
He doesn't have to kick goals.
In getting that team and dragging them over the line. And you're like,
who's that?
Who's that? Like, who? Ben Cunnington. So I want to just have a shout out that I really enjoyed watching that last 10 minutes. It was phenomenal. I'm not okay. Now your answer to that fun conversation.
But is that his go? Go and help the kids in the VFL.
Go and help the kids win a VFL flag. That doesn't sound.
And Jack Zeeb will do the same.
And Jack Zeeb. That's how you win VFL flags. No, it's not important. I mean,
no,
I
but
shouldn't say that. But
it'll grow them for next year. So you'll be able to see if they're going to, if they're
actually, I like that.
Seriously,
I do like that.
He's had his career. It's not like he's 26, right? He's they're both over 30, right?
Yeah, I do like that.
They're clearly not in. I don't think they're in North's best 18 or 22.
They're not. You're right.
Go back, give back to the club that's given you so much. Not that you owe them, but skip back.
You're spot on.
Go and
you're spot on.
Don't retire. Play out the season. You're fit enough to play football. Play out the season. Give back to the club. Help the young kids. And watch them flourish. Like, wouldn't you be happy in 3 years' time if they played finals or won a flag and you were a part of that?
Oh, no doubt.
I mean,
no doubt. On Essendon, quickly, I thought, again, Essendon's
got the job done, I guess.
They downhill skied,
yeah.
But then defensively they conceded 99 points. So still defensively got problems there, Essendon, I think.
But they were still winning games, right?
Winning games, and I've got a feeling that they can play finals.
Yeah.
I think they'll make it.
Yeah, I think they'll make it.
They'll make it.
I think they'll make it. I think they deserve to make it. I think they've been okay this year.
Yeah, I'm not quite on that word for them, but I know what you're getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I know what you're getting at.
Oh, well, there you go.
And there you go. Round 12 is in the books. If you've enjoyed the episode, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Also, comment down below if you agree or disagree. So we'll see you in the next one.